we've had discussions about how tough it is in today's world. There's so much pressure on these kids. Back when you and I were, athletic, you went and you tried out for your high school team. Now, I know from my kids that you weren't getting on those teams unless you had been part of club teams. And, in the case of my daughter as a soccer player, she was on a premier team. So much pressure all the time, plus keeping up their grades, plus, all of what's going on in the world. There's a lot of pressure on kids today, social media too. So,
oh yes, and it comes from different directions. And I read that 60% of college students admit to having mental disorders when they enter college. And I'm saying, oh my goodness. And of course, their rates of depression and anxiety and suicide were high before the pandemic, but it's been exacerbated since COVID-19. And so there are all these studies about all these challenges that colleges have and what they should do about it. But it comes down to caring about people, caring about the students, and having programs where that they can relate to, and having the time, especially for elite college athletes, to have the time even to go to peak performance sessions, or to learn how to use the power of their minds, and then transform that into what they need to do when they graduate into their professions. So athletes, as you know, because you were an elite college swimmer, that you have great skills. You have to really prepare yourself mentally, physically, have your plan of action for when you swim, etc. And all of those are great skills to carry forth in your life. But if you get depressed and you're anxious, you may end up like some college athletes committing suicide. And that was a horror to me. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back for writing this book, because I work with college students and I work with high school students and all the way up through college, and even sometimes students who are 9 years old, and they come back at various times in their lives to build up their skill level and their mental rehearsal and the mindful toughness skill sets that I teach. So they say, I'm not learning anything. Nobody's teaching me hands-on things, hands-on tools. So they come back and they say, now I'm graduating from college and I need to get my first job. Can you help me? So we work and they feel totally confident.